Hello! Today we'll talk about manual output overrides and the on-to-auto feature for your RWL controller. For more comfortable working conditions, or if an emergency situation develops, any output may be turned on manually, say, to turn on your proportional outputs for 20 minutes while you work in the greenhouse. The video will cover how to manually override your heats and proportional outputs, as well as set the on-to-auto timer for automatically switching those outputs back to automatic mode. First, to manually override your outputs, simply repeatedly press the button for your desired output. For example, heat 1 until the screen shows on. There it is, on, and then you can press enter to turn that on. You can also do the same for any of your proportional outputs. For example, you can press vent 1 until MAN is displayed, or manual. There it is, you might have to press more than just once. And then you can press enter, and now it will display PCT as well as your current percentage set point. So here, we'll change that to 10, or you can leave it at what it was, and then press enter. And now it'll bring you back to the home screen. Keep in mind that when using these manual overrides, the process bypasses the safety measures, which means that you could end up with heats and vents open on at the same time, possibly being redundant and wasting electricity. As a side note, you can always turn your proportional outputs or heats to be off, regardless of temperature, by pressing the desired outputs button until off is displayed, and then pressing enter. Basically doing the opposite of what we just did. Whenever you change a heat or proportional output away from the auto setting and onto the on or manual setting for the proportional outputs, it will remain there until the on-to-auto timer runs out. If you are unaware of this feature, it might be confusing how your outputs would constantly turn back on to auto without you doing anything. By default, the controller comes set with on-to-auto as 15 minutes, but you can change it to anywhere between 1 minute and 23 hours and 59 minutes. You can also change it to 0 to make them never switch back to auto automatically. To change your on-to-auto settings, press Next in the menu area until OTOA shows up. There it is, and then you can press Enter to enter the setup. Here, enter your desired time value, anywhere between the 1 minute or to 23 hours and 59 minutes. We'll do 30 minutes. That way our outputs, heat 1, vent 1, our proportional outputs, all that, will go back to auto 30 minutes after setting them to on. So, it took too long, but you go back there. You can put in your time, 30 minutes, and then press enter to confirm. As a side note, you can also use the RSET or reset function in the menu at any time to instantly switch all outputs back to auto. For example, if I put this onto on, as well as vent 1 onto the manual setting, the percentage. All right, so both of those are on and manual. If I go to menu and then go to reset and press enter, that will put them all back to auto. So you see this one's now on auto, and then vent 1 is also back to auto. So, with the on-to-auto feature enabled and suited to your greenhouse, you can now take advantage of manual overrides without the risk of forgetting to turn outputs back to auto. And that's all. For a quick refresher or to look at any other processes, remember we have the full manual available online, and it's also linked in the description. You can find this particular process on page 26. Remember that if you had any trouble throughout this process, we are always available by phone and email for support. Remember to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter or Instagram for the latest updates and information. We also have an e-newsletter for other information and tips, and you can see many other tutorials on our YouTube channel for other issues you might have. Thanks!